Well, this is why trading is hard, folks. Hey, fellow trader, it's Black Coffee Trader coming to you here on Tuesday, May the 12th. Had a nice green day today, up 11, almost 1,200 bucks on the accounts traded. The Lucid accounts, we finally have those back above 50,000. And I have I've completed my minimum trading days of 5 days of plus of 150. So we are all boxes checked except for profitability. So I think if we get this account to 1,000, we technically could take out 500. So really happy with the direction there, and then had a nice trading day, so-so trading day, but a positive trading day on the Lucid or the Apex legacy accounts. Did not trade the new end of days, but this is why trading is hard. We have a beautiful fake out to the upside on the NASDAQ. I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail here. So you have a situation where you have previous day low sitting here, and you have a pre-market dip below and a hold below that area, holding here, holding here, holding here, all below this PDL. And so now you have a bit of a potential downside, looking like a downside trade. And then when you have this move right here, you create a trapped seller's situation, but that also then creates a trapped buyer situation. And then we go to the downside. So very sneaky, very difficult move on the NASDAQ this morning. Luckily, I was able to capitalize on that. I did have one losing trade here, and then let me just bring this trades up. I did have a losing trade here. I was looking for that short, got caught in that nasty trap to the upside that squeezed higher, and then did get back into that trade on this little wick candle. And I caught a nice little couple $100, $300 trade here. But the real entry was this retest. There's the actual retest spot. What's going on here? Right there. So here you have PDL. Right there's the actual trade that really should have happened. But anyway, I was out of there with a positive trade, so that's a good thing. But not too disappointed with this. I was a little aggressive on this first entry, but that's okay. My second entry then was, after that first loss, was a flip. I was flipping my bias and going long on ES, which was really, really stupid. So this was a mistake. Got stopped out of that trade and had a nasty slippage on the stop. So it ended up being like a $240 loss instead of $150. So very, very tough little loss there. And the reason I flipped is because ES had been holding this area quite well, around the 7,400 area. So that's what makes, to me, what makes trading difficult is you have one of the indexes like ES holding this level, and then you have the NASDAQ, which is looking to break below a key level, especially like PDL. And then to make matters worse, you have the Dow Jones, which had a 15-minute move to the downside and then consolidating and bleeding higher during the same time of day as the NASDAQ is selling lower. So this makes trading really, really difficult. And I think on a bigger picture scale, I mean, if you look at this market on the NASDAQ, it's been up, 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 up. And now you have a pullback, which is really a reload for further upside. And I really, truly believe that's what today was. And that's also why the shorts were very difficult. You have a move down, a bounce up, move down, bounce up, move down, bounce up, move down, bounce up. And it's just, and we finally reach a bottom. And what this does is it sets up the reclaim long. Reclaims, I have really started to like this trade. The reclaim trade has been money, especially in these bull markets when the market is trending higher and you get a pullback and you get a reclaim of a key level for further upside. So exactly like we had happening right here on the Dow Jones. So I did take a short trade right here on the Dow Jones. This is all done on the legacy accounts, the Apex accounts. I took this beautiful short break, retest, wick rejection, looking for downside. The downside couldn't happen. I want to zoom in here a little bit and just kind of walk through the game plan and what my thought process was. Here's the entry off of this rejection. And notice we retested here. We retested here. I did exit out of this trade at break even right here. We retested again right here. I was really tempted to short this, but I didn't buy it. I just didn't believe in the shorts. We then had a push higher when this started continuing to reject, but we couldn't get further downside. And the way this market had moved in the morning session, I said, you know what? I'm going to wait and see if we get a reclaim long above these previous 2-day lows. This is the Monday low. This is the Friday low. And if we can get a reclaim, I want to get into that trade. I got into that trade there. And the critique I would have is I exited this trade too early. Nice trade, $250 trade. But I exited this a little bit too early, and I was concerned because of the continued NASDAQ sell down as I was in that trade. So NQ is bleeding lower, ES is bleeding lower. I'm in a trade, looks good for movement higher. I get trailed out of that, happy with the trade, but it then continued to run, and I could have got out of that trade for a big win. It could have been a $400 trade. So reclaim long, definitely king, but that put the Apex accounts back into the green. So after the first two losses in the morning, we did recoup that, which is nice. And then I was pretty much done, and I actually walked away. I had some things I wanted to take care of, so I actually left my desk. And then I came back and noticed that the NASDAQ had reclaimed, and wow, what a move this is. What a move. Had reclaimed this area right here, which is, let me just zoom out on the bigger picture chart. That is these highs from Thursday high and this little pre-market high on Friday. And that is a reclaim of that area. Very similar to that the Dow Jones reclaim. So when I saw this, I took my lucid accounts, took the long, and this was just an absolute textbook sniper entry. I don't know how well you can see this with the colors, but this candle right here had a wick that came right to that level, and when that started to push higher, I took that entry long. As a matter of fact, I'm on the wrong accounts here. Here you can see the entry. Man, this thing is moving. That is frustrating. Took this entry long, took a couple contracts off here, trailed out on this one here on this push pullback. And then we did continue to hold that, and what a squeeze. What a squeeze higher we're getting here end of day. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. That's the long to be in. That could be if I would have stuck into that trade, I'd be out right now at $450 profit. So I'm not going to argue, but really managed the day quite well. I'm really happy with that. And I think, again, the key is looking for these reclaimed longs in this market. So, yeah. Just have to keep the head on straight, and I think one of the big things for me that helps is keeping a big picture profile and not get sucked into the weeds on these pullbacks. We are in a bullish trend, and yes, I did take a short here, and yes, that was the right thing to do, is to short NQ here. But if the setup was not there for the rest of the day, I really had no interest in this continued short. I literally just sat and waited around on the Dow Jones to see if we get a reclaim to get long, because I felt that was really the trade. I was very confident that if NQ finds a bottom, we're going to get some kind of a push higher, and here we go. So I'm not sure where this thing's going to close, but crazy day. Crazy day. We capitalized on it well, $1,100 in profit. That's awesome. And I'm putting together a really nice little run. We've had about $6,000 in profit over the last 2 weeks. Solid green streak, so that feels really, really good. And again, just trying to keep the head straight, not get too excited about the wins and not get too worried about the losses, and we just keep stacking up wins. And again, don't need a big win rate if you've got a nice average win to loss. So I would say that I'm probably for the month close to a 2 probably. Yeah, we are. So my wins are a little bit more than twice my loss, and so I can have a 42% win rate and still post up about 4,600 in profit. So anyway, it's a good little run. I'm happy with it, and yeah, that's a wrap for today. So we'll be back at it tomorrow. Thanks again for following along. Appreciate you guys. Hope you had a good day. Let me know how you did. Today was difficult, not gonna lie. Today was a difficult day, and I feel very fortunate to be nice and green, and I credit the patience of waiting for good setups and exiting on the losses without having a big, running loss. That's just a huge plus. Got to respect stops in markets like this. So anyway, thanks again. Appreciate you guys. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you on the next one. Take care, and so long.